Dann herzlich willkommen zu unserem Was ist Lucifer Stream. Vielen Dank auch nochmal an Kitfox Games, die mir hier den Key zur Verfügung gestellt haben. Gestern ist das Spiel released worden. Heute ist ein Spiel, kann ich es ja schon spielen. Das heißt, ich kann es jetzt schon spielen. Kann ich es jetzt für euch spielen. Ja. Weil, genau, gestern ist ja eher so unpraktisch gewesen. Da habe ich ja nicht gestreamt. Und dann, deswegen heute. So, 100 years without murder, 100 years without demonic possession, then this. I'm Sister Ada, exorcist and an investigator. This is my testament to the massacres at St. Walpurgis Abbey. It is truth, do not believe the lies of my accusers. Genau, das ist ja schon der Fall, den wir in der Demo gelöst hatten. Deswegen werden wir da jetzt ein bisschen durchrushen. Das heißt, ich werde auch die ganzen Sachen hier nicht lesen. Falls ihr es nicht gesehen habt, dann schaut am besten nochmal den Stream dazu an. Als ich hier die Demo während der Gamescom-Woche gestreamt hatte. Genau, und am Ende. Und es geht aber jetzt darum, dass wir jetzt hier mit den verschiedenen Leuten reden. Genau. Und dass wir, nachdem wir dann... Wir hören uns jetzt hier an, wie der Fall für ihn abgelaufen ist. Ne? Das ist genau, und wir haben dann halt jedes Mal immer hier so diese Dings dran, von wegen, also Corroboration heißt, kannst dann irgendwer anders bestätigen. Specificity waren wir wirklich spezifisch dabei. Haben wir wirklich, hat Gideon zum Beispiel jetzt sehr, sehr spezifisch erzählt, was passiert ist. Und, genau, so Sachen. Genau, und damit kann man dann auch hier wieder zurück scrollen, sagen. Und dann können wir hier nochmal genau nachfragen, so, hey, hier, wie ist es denn genau gewesen? Ja, ich war sicher, dass ich irgendwie allein war. Genau, dann geht's hier weiter. Das Coole ist tatsächlich, dass diesmal gibt es tatsächlich Voice Actors. Beim letzten Mal hatten wir keine Voice Actor. Warum das meine Times, okay. Genau, wir können dazu auch immer Dinge fragen. So. Genau, und... Achso, ja, das hatten wir ja schon. Und dann das hier. Genau, hier kurz zu fragen. It's not Mother Miriam, please forgive me. Alright. Leave. Genau, jetzt haben wir ganz viel von ihm hier. Das heißt, jetzt können wir noch mit dem Ruben hier reden, dem Bruder. Wie gesagt, genau, da habt ihr jetzt die zweite Timeline. Und hier seht ihr jetzt plötzlich, okay, hier, Miriam's Arrival ging eigentlich nur bis hierhin. Und da haben sie dann schon angefangen, also die Zeremonie zu besprechen. Das heißt, hier ist der Ruben viel spezifischer als Gideon, der halt sagt so, ja, da ist irgendwie das passiert und dann jenes.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. Gideon convinced her to move forward.
Genau, und dann kann man halt auch
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong.
Genau. Das Seltsame ist, genau, wir können jetzt ihn auch noch fragen. Zu allem.
Gideon convinced her to move forward.
Und kriegen dann potenziell auch nochmal bessere Sachen.
Mother Miriam.
Genau, und ich glaube, diese goldenen hervorgehobenen sind die also die verified sind, weil irgendwer anders das halt bestätigen konnte. Genau, sehr gut. So, genau, jetzt können wir hier mal rumlaufen. mal schauen, was denn hier für Gegenstände hier rumliegen. Ah, okay, wir haben jetzt hier irgendein Collectible gefunden anscheinend. Genau. Jetzt haben wir hier Blueprints gefunden. Die können wir hier oder genauer anschauen. Einmal von einem Coronet. Das heißt, wir wissen jetzt auch, dass der Ruben tatsächlich weiß, wie das Coronet aufgebaut ist, weil er zumindest sich mal den Blueprint angeschaut hat. Und auch dieser Stab. Ob das uns jetzt noch was bringt oder nicht, das werden wir dann später schauen. Können wir hier das Control Panel noch anschauen. Oh. Wir können den Button noch anschauen. Wir werden gleich eure Leiche anschauen. Dabei werden wir entdecken, dass hier von dem Coronet, also von dieser Krone, irgendwie hier die Splitter hier rumliegen. Und genau. Genau, mehr können wir hier nicht anschauen. Hier finden wir den Limiter. Und noch die Workstation von Gideon. Genau, ich glaube, das war's dann jetzt auch. So. So. Haben wir dann alles? Ich glaube, wir haben alles. Genau, reden wir jetzt mal mit Gideon. Und wir fragen ihn zu den Beweisen. Und zwar... Ask. Ja. So, jetzt hat er gesagt so, ja, der Limiter, der ist vermutlich kaputt. Und du sagst so, hey, Moment mal, wir haben den hier gefunden. Genau, wir können den natürlich zu allem möglichen befragen. Auch hier, von wegen so, ja, wir haben jetzt hier gesehen, dass da plötzlich die Dinge eigentlich über dem Limit waren. Und, genau. So. Genau, wir können ihn auch nochmal dazu befragen, von wegen so. Ja, aber dazu vielleicht? Is that did at this time? Hier zu fragen. Contradict. Present. Lies unmasked. You lied, get in. Das ist ein bisschen schade, dass die nicht auch gevoiced sind, aber cool, was I wanted the coordinate as powerful as it would be, but I'm getting the grind. With my talents, I had it under control. Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt so, wir können jetzt hier noch draufklicken, um einen tieferen Einblick in ihn zu bekommen. Und sie finden heraus, dass er ein Narzisst ist. Was finden wir dabei? Okay. So, wir können jetzt hier, genau, es geht ja, also in Lucifer Within Us geht es ja darum, dass Dämonen dafür zuständig sind, dass die Menschen sündigen. Und, genau, also deswegen gibt es jetzt hier verschiedene Dämonen. 4 Stück in dem Fall. Lucifer the Proud, the Prince of Demons, and the internal adversary of Ein Self. Manifests an ambitious and strong-willed, promising them their heart's desire in exchange for their soul. Das könnte sein. Boasted with the gluttonous, simple-minded demon that debilitates the host, returning them into feral beasts. The host is compelled to consume strangers and filthier things until nothing remains of their humanity. and Lotan Danvers, playful but deceitful demon. A demon who slowly drives the host mad with whispers of their own inadequacy. The host blames others for their ill fortune until the apparent injustice drives them to take what is rightfully theirs. Gut, das heißt, wir kennen jetzt die 4 Dämonen. So, wir können jetzt auch direkt hier diese Q-Settings. Also, wann hätte er es machen können? Zum Beispiel hierbei. Hat er sie dabei umgebracht? Yes. Performed the ceremony but did nothing that could have harmed her. Means physical evidence. Dazu nehmen wir doch einfach mal den Limiter. Weil, na, der hat eine Proposition ausgebaut. Just think you remove the limiter. That's nonsense. Do you really think I would forget to replace the crown jewel of my masterpiece? Well, if it was... I think that I killed her. Genau, das Motiv. Present. If he's a culprit and represented with the correct motive, the demon within him will compel him to speak the truth. If not, he will deny my claim. You're a self-absorbed man. If anything you do feeds into your pride, to you, Mother Miriam was a mere prop for your masterpiece. Your callously caused her death in pursuit of artistic glory. How dare you? I took the utmost care in everything I did for Mother Miriam. The coronet was designed to be worn by her. Without her, it will forever remain imperfect. I would never risk anything that could harm my work or Mother Miriam. I love Mother Miriam. Why would I hurt her? Okay, damn. Hat das nicht geklappt? Das heißt... So. Genau, dazu können wir jetzt nochmal Dinge fragen, weil die jetzt neu sind. Okay. Dann können wir vielleicht dazu noch fragen. I didn't hear him, I was too busy performing the ceremony. Okay. Dann gehen wir wieder weg und dann quatschen wir nochmal mit ihm hier. Wir versuchen das nämlich auch jetzt mal in seine tiefere Psychologie einzutreten. So. He went back to his workstation. Let's get inside, switch this testimony.
To prepare for this.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway, since he was going.
So. So, wir haben entdeckt, dass du gelogen hast. What is that what he told you? What is illusion? Gideon is certainly not my master. Gut, aber jetzt haben wir wieder neue Dings. Er ist spezifischer geworden. Und auch dieses Oder wurde bestätigt. Auch wenn für Ruben das kein Order, also kein Befehl war, aber für den anderen war es ein Befehl, darum passt das so. Okay. So. Kann man das hier... Das Mess. Okay. So, wir fragen ihn mal hierzu. Fragen ihn dazu. Können wir dazu auch befragen. Das Gute ist, wir können ihn auch zu seinem Bruder fragen. Können wir auch zu den Narzissten fragen. So. Someone that currently uploaded. Despicable. Okay. Stimmt ja, wir haben ja eine Lüge aufgedeckt, deswegen können wir einen Layer hier runternehmen. Believer. Service. Okay. So. Way to open. Okay. Genau, jetzt könnten wir auch hier wieder accusen oder contradicten. Und ich glaube, so let's see what it did. Solution.
Then the
Okay.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but
So. Hier, Knopf. So, genau. Da muss er jetzt nochmal genauer erklären, was er getan hat.
since
So, plötzlich sagt er ihr, oh ja, eigentlich habe ich da ja noch das Ding gecheckt.
everything's
Und, genau. So, außerdem können wir jetzt hier nochmal eine weitere Layer shattern. Und wir kriegen raus, oh, er ist auch eifersüchtig. Das heißt, wenn wir jetzt zum Beispiel sagen, wir accusen ihn als means present. Das heißt, er weiß ganz genau, wie die kaputt zu machen sind. Opportunity. Presenten. Open the gender. Motive. Was envious. And means. So. Accuse und
Soft sees all, Reuben.
schön.
You killed Mother Miriam to frame Gideon and take him down a peg. With Gideon gone, a daemon whispered that people would finally recognize you for your genius.
I am older than Gideon. My work is better than Gideon, and more important. But no one sees my work. No one understands my work.
Confess, Reuben. Tell us what the daemon made you do.
Und
Demonic corruption runs deep within Reuben's soul. Yet Reuben may still be saved.
ach Bu, warum sind wir jetzt offline? Macht Twitch irgendwie seltsame Dinge? Twitch macht seltsame Dinge. Weil eigentlich solltet ihr mich noch sehen. Also ich sehe mich hier auch im Control-Stream auch noch. Die Session läuft auch noch. Aber aus irgendwelchem Grund wurde gerade mir im Chat, also mein Chat sagt mir so, dass wir offline sind.
I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out. Ein Sof, guide me. What daemon has possessed Reuben?
Na wunderbar. So, genau. Jetzt können wir mal schauen, welches ist. Und ich glaube, es ist Lotan the Envious.
Out, Lotan! Leave this soul and return return whence you came.
Magnificently done, Madam Exorcist.
The power of Ainsof compels you, Lotan. Leave this soul and return to the ether.
Thousands of years, and you humans never change. Never satisfied, always comparing, wanting more.
Ah. Cool, da sind wir wieder. Also jetzt wird auch wieder bei mir angezeigt, dass wir wieder live sind.
Someone else is always richer, prettier, wiser, better. Nothing can ever fill that void within you. Not even me.
Silence, Lotan. Reuben may yet be redeemed. You are a scourge. Without your influence, a good woman would still be alive. Leave humans be, Lotan. I banish you to the ether.
As you wish. But I'll return soon enough. My prince and master Lucifer walks among you.
Oh je.
Lucifer will open the gates of hell, and at last, humanity will remember its full potential.
Oh, true.
Until then, Madam Exorcist, adieu.
Come forth, Reuben. What remains of you?
Thank.
He's silent and still. Poor soul. Rest, Reuben. Heal, if you can.
Okay.
Sister Ada, you've returned. Was there a demon at work after all?
Das heißt, er wird nicht also. Okay.
I'm afraid so. The exorcism was a success. Reuben's soul has been purged. Unfortunately, the daemon was difficult to cleanse. Reuben is returned to pure innocence.
What? The exorcism shattered his mind? Can you bring him back?
It's out of my hands. If Ainsof wills it, maybe Reuben will heal.
Guards, please escort this shell to the cryostasis cellar. I pray for his swift recovery. Abbot Gregory.
Praise be to Ainsof, Sister Ada. You have saved us all. On behalf of everyone at St. Walburga's, I express our utmost gratitude.
We are not yet safe. We must act quickly until we locate the source of the demonic influence. We don't understand yet why demons would act after 100 years. Holy Father, we must quarantine the abbey and the surrounding town immediately. Detain and interrogate anyone who seems suspicious.
We can try, Sister Ada, but it will be difficult, as we have visitors arriving hourly. Much like yourself, pilgrims from afar are here to celebrate Walpurgisnacht. It's such a shame Mother Miriam couldn't bear witness to it.
Ah, yes, the priestess. We must destroy her body immediately. Traces of demonic influence may remain from her contact with Reuben.
No, Sister Ada, thank you for your concern, but we absolutely cannot. Mother Miriam was a prominent figure and well loved, with decades of service.
Yes. And she would probably want that her death was not in vain and could infect others, you know?
We must treat her body with dignity and give her a proper burial. Send Mother Miriam's body to the mortuary for embalming.
Your Excellency, we really ought to take the advice of the exorcist.
Mother Miriam's body has been desecrated enough, Virgil. Send her to the mortuary, now.
As you command, Your Excellency.
Das ist natürlich super dumm.
Holy Father, you are making a grave mistake.
Das erinnert mich so an gewisse Politiker, die so sagen, das, was der Arzt sagt über die ansteckende Krankheit, in diesem Fall halt ein ansteckender dämonische Besitzergreifung. Ach, Ivo, die haben alle keine Ahnung. Komm, wir wissen es besser. Voll gut.
Sister Ada, don't worry yourself. All will be well.
Ja, dann sterben
Saint
Leute.
Walpurgis' triumph over Lucifer has brought us a century of peace and bliss. It's horrifying that a demon was exorcised from our abbey, but surely it was the final remnant.
The daemon within Reuben spoke of Lucifer's return. Lucifer's ways are insidious. Even the most devout among us have temptations.
It's a shame Brother Reuben fell to the demon. But the rest of my flock is stronger. Faith shall be their shield. Now, please excuse me. This evening's mass requires my attention.
Vermutlich ist, weil er ist schon ziemlich stolz. Es könnte also sein, dass Saint Lucifer in ihm haust.
We are honored by your presence, Sister Ada. Praise be to Ein Sof.
Also er ist nicht nur stolz auf seine, also auf sich, sondern halt auf seine ganze Community und auf seine Religion.
Even the Holy Father can be foolish then. Ein Sof. Let it not be true that Lucifer walks. But if it is, Ein Sof, guide me, that I may unmask all lies, no matter how painful.
Oh shoot. The daemon's final words haunted me. Lucifer was already among us. An imposter. I wanted to destroy Mother Miriam's body to purge any traces of demonic influence. Abbot Gregory did not heed my words. Mother Miriam was to be given a proper burial. That afternoon, Inquisitor Virgil sent for me, asking urgently to meet him at the graveyard. Mal schauen, warum.
Praise Ein Sof. Thank you for coming to our aid so quickly, Sister Ada.
You said it was urgent. Has something happened to Mother Miriam's body?
No, in some ways, that would have been easier. There is now a second untimely death.
Dum dum dum.
Another murder. On the very same day. This can't be a coincidence.
That isn't for me to say, but this time, the victim is a younger acolyte named Isaac. His remains were found in the grave that was dug for Mother Miriam. Poor kid's throat was slit.
Gruesome. Who was at the graveyard when the body was found?
Only 3 people were present this afternoon. A scholar, an embalmer, and a grave tender. Father Augustine is a scholar, visiting for Mother Miriam's funeral. The victim was his apprentice. Sister Nerissa, an embalmer with a sterling reputation, preparing Mother Miriam's body for burial. Finally, Abraham, the grave tender, a layman who has kept the grounds of the abbey for many years. None of them say they were near the grave until after the body was discovered.
Obviously.
Which means someone is lying. No matter. Ein Sof sees all. We will unmask their lies and bring the truth forward. I swear it.
Okay, dann lass doch mal schauen. Genau, da sind wir jetzt schon unterwegs. Genau, mit mir reden. Examine the victim's body. Sharp incision in his throat was clearly the cause of death, but why does he have that scar? Bist du denn? Ne, wir schauen uns erstmal hier das hier an und dann schauen wir den Augustine an. Noble's grave. The immaculately maintained grave shows the genealogy of an illustrious family. There isn't a blade of grass out of place around the stone. Okay. Okay, ne, wir reden jetzt einfach erstmal zuerst mit ihm hier, weil...
You must be Father Augustine. The victim was your apprentice, correct?
Correct. And you are Sister Ada, the exorcist. It is a unique pleasure.
Und Stream soll wieder offline sein. Ach, ist das nicht fantastisch? Ich hoffe, ihr seht mich trotzdem. Thank you, but I only serve Ein Sof according to my calling. Why are you here, Father? So, according to my calling, I'm visiting the preparation for Mother Miriam's son's funeral. It's a true blessing to witness your holy work, Sister Ada. I pray Isaac can rest in peace. How long did Isaac study under you? Did you know him well? He was a fine apprentice, a ready mind and willing soul. I will mourn him in my own way. But I must admit, the prospect of witnessing an exorcism is an unexpected silver lining. Dude, what? If I find you guilty, Father Augustine, you'll find the experience to be unpleasant. Tell me now, what happened this afternoon? Leave nothing out. I'll begin by taking an afternoon stroll. Okay. Yeah.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Okay. Uh-huh. Indeed, were you close to her, Father? No, but the airport was too busy with my... Was it us? Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Okay. Was there something particular about the statue that caught your eye? Given its age and been immaculately maintained, the groundskeeper must be skilled. Okay. Yeah, okay.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
That's a lengthy stroll. Let me about what you were doing. Damn me, shall we prove that I was doing something else? Okay, ja, dann geht er jetzt hier die ganze Zeit in der Gegend rum.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Not Isaac.
Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave.
I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
Okay. So, you were the first to arrive at the grave? Yes, I was. Self-report. Definitely self-report. Super sus. Oh. Gott, irgendwas juckt an meinem Auge gerade. Market condition, mouth ground. Shame the family became disgraced. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Dann lassen wir das mal in Ruhe. Und wir schauen, dass wir hier noch ein paar andere Dinge beobachten. Zum Beispiel das hier. Aether Scanner. Okay. A portable Aether powered device for recording images and text. Dann das ist kind of having page. Eigentlich sollten wir uns erstmal alle Indizien anschauen und dann Isaac. No bruising here, an angry scar runs across his stomach. Und hier nochmal ein bisschen the devil's up. Surgical multi-tool. Okay. Staircase between the mortuary and the grave. An Aether power tool for making incisions, applying preservatives and closing wounds. Ja, das ist doch mal eine gute Möglichkeit, so einen Menschen zu töten. Haben wir hier auch eine Schaufel. Found hanging in the back area of the mortuary, heavy bulk and caked with dirt. Yeah, footprints. Muddy footprints found on the floors of that mortuary. Still wet, leads from the back exit of the mortuary to the embalming table. Und Blumen. A bundle of fresh blossoms like that found on a grave. Or were they on the floor? Marissa's workstation. The record showing 2 notable entries for today, both explicitly authorized by Abbot Gregory. Funeral for Mother Miriam at sundown. Visit by Father Augustine. Unrestricted access granted. Okay. A bloody liver. Found a table with other entrails still partially warm and moist. It appears mangled in some ways. Perhaps smashed? Okay. Embalmed body. And not identified as Mother Miriam. There's a large incision down her stomach. Judging from the uneven colouring and chemical scent, she appears partially embalmed. And Miriam, newly appointed voice of Einsof, scheduled to receive an Ada coronary implant at a workshop. Murdered in the morning. So, das heißt, ich glaube, wir haben hier alle Dinge gefunden, die wir so finden können.
Praise Ainsof. You must be the famed exorcist. It is an honor, sister.
So, außerdem für alle Leute, die gerade im Chat sind, ihr könnt mit Ausrufezeichen Fight wieder Teil an der Arena teilnehmen und hoffen, dass ihr ein bisschen Boden sammeln könnt.
I'm Nerissa, and I serve Ainsof by preparing the dead for burial.
Alright.
I take pleasure in providing cleanliness and comfort for bodies after their souls have departed.
I see. Nerissa, how did you know the victim?
Not at all. The first time I saw him, he was curled in that grave, dirty and bloody. The whole afternoon, I prepared Mother Miriam's body for burial. There isn't much else to tell.
Okay.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
Then Abraham knew about the funeral. Certainly hope so. Why else would he dig a grave? Good question. No one came by at all.
Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
No way, which was perfect because it needs his hands to focus. Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities. Mid-after...
Why did you send him away? So everyone was distracting? Yes, I don't like people who stand around and gawk while I'm trying to work. No offense. Oh Gott, so ein Egelchen. So 2 neuen Bohnen. Achso, ne.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Do you consider your work complete then? I did my best given the circumstances. I always do my best, sister. Aber ist der Körper denn nicht nur halb fertig? Clear incision that remains unsealed. Could you possibly claim that is ready for burial? I should do my best, but I could not finish the preparations in time. See, I misplaced my surgical tool. Searched all over the mortuary for it, but I could not find it anywhere. Okay, also hier einmal Lüge. Zack, splittert auf. Carnivore. Okay, bitte was? Fan Nerissa's sanctum enjoys exotic cuts of meat, especially fresh entrails and organs. Perhaps I enjoy meat too much. Everyone has a soft spot for something, don't they? Well, yes, but maybe not for the body of a deceased person.
Once mid-afternoon, Abraham barged in. After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
Okay. Seems improbable. Thought it was the same, but search everywhere and so on. It's just not here somehow. Okay. Dann gleich mal das.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
How did you hope to finish evolving without your tool? The organs out of my hands and seeing the incision with bandages. Sitting on my hands, I have a reputation to protect. Okay. This Mother Miriam's barbed liver. Seems rather deformed. What happened to it? Apologies to state, I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Due to the... Smaller branch in the cemetery provides space for more wealthy patrons. There were no other burials scheduled for today or even this week. Okay. Bundle of fresh blossoms. So prepare these for visitors to the cemetery. You would be surprised at how often people forget to bring anything to honor their loved ones. I apologize for the filth. Normally the mortuary is pristine, I assure you, but today is hardly a normal day. Okay, das heißt, das
After
hier.
Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket.
Weitere Lügen. Explain these muddy footprints in Narissa. They indicate that someone left and returned to the mortuary during the rain. Given the Father Augustine remained outside and that Abraham left before the rain, these must be your footprints. I'm sorry, Mrs. Ada, for the lies and for the filth. I can't wait to clean it up. My, that I did step outside briefly to search for the multi-tool, but since it was raining, I couldn't find anything, so the embalming remained sadly unfinished. Okay. Das heißt, stattdessen...
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
Why did you assume that it would be outside? I suppose I panicked. I thought it may have rolled outside when the door was open.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Okay. Und eine weitere Lüge hier. Zack. A cannibal. Okay, also ja, wirklich. It's a terrible tendency of mine, but it's harmless, I assure you. It will only nibble at entrails that no one would want. Zum Beispiel das hier.
I was desperate to find a tool to finish my work.
Contradicts.
I tried searching outside.
Okay. Far too heavy. Eine Schaufel. Wenn eine Schaufel zu schwer für dich ist, Madame, solltest du echt mal ein bisschen was tun. Sister Lesser. Give me a moment. There, it's ready. Let's have a closer look. What is this? His liver is loose. He's not attached to the rest of his organs at all. It's an embalmed liver. You can tell by the patchy coloring. I have no idea what would be in the victim's body when he had only just died. Okay, what the hell? Okay. What the fuck? Scanner, I don't use anything like that for my work. Okay, okay, gut. Wir haben jetzt mit ihr gesprochen. Dann können wir jetzt hier mit dem Dings reden. Oh, warte mal. Die Sichel habe ich gar nicht entdeckt vorhin. Okay. Wir könnten also nochmal fragen, was sie zur Sichel sagt. Okay, sagt sie nicht viel dazu. Genau, dann holen wir jetzt noch das Testament von... die Aussage von ihm hier.
Release me! I had nothing to do with that boy.
You must be Abraham, the grave tender.
I am. I worked here for 30 years. Worked hard, not without complaint. Look around you. Every bush trimmed, every headstone polished because of me. I've done all that is asked of me and more. Yet the moment something goes wrong, I'm the one blamed. It's not personal. Even the most steadfast among us may fall prey to Lucifer's whispers, Abraham. You dug the grave on which the victim was found, didn't you? Actually, I didn't dig anything today. And who did? How would I know? I've been busy, working as always.
As the grave tender, any crimes that took place here are your responsibility. If you are truly innocent, hide nothing and tell me what happened. We'll find the truth together.
Es ist irgendwie seltsam. Seine Voicelines waren jetzt plötzlich nicht mehr und jetzt die hier ist wieder. Super weird. Okay, also fangen wir an hier.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
Okay. I claim that didn't deck the grave. Right, that's what I said. I was busy with the bushes. Alright.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. When I headed...
So you were dismissed early this day? Why did you go home? It wasn't really clear I should leave her to work, so I did. Plenty of other groundskeeping work to be done. Here's some tension, so I had it that way. Interessant.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is after Abraham left.
Aha, hier unterscheiden sich die Dings.
I searched all over the mortuary for it.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Seltsam, ich kann ihn hiermit nicht präsenten. Okay. Didn't run into anyone? No, no one passed me. Das heißt, einer von euch beiden lügt da? That's what the time.
I spent...
Okay.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
The whole day inside. Did someone else call for help? That's right.
Suddenly, I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body in the grave.
Phone folks call for help. Yeah, he was standing over the grave when I arrived. Narissa arrived around the same time too. Okay. Okay. Das heißt, wir haben jetzt mal von allen ein Testament. Wir können jetzt grass looks like wheat here. Used to keep everything tight and neat. Should be.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary. When I walked through the mortuary, then headed down. I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Wunderbar. Du hast gelungen. Some regression that you were supposedly polishing. Admitted you left it there. Fine, of course I had the sickle. I had to tend to the grass around the graves. I didn't mention it because I thought it'd make me look suspicious. Now you've made yourself even more suspicious. Mensch your testimony. Okay, wir gehen nochmal kurz auf seine Lüge ein. Was entdecken wir bei ihm? Grief? Oh, grief. What is this grief? Fortunes are quickly reducing their status. At night, someone torched our home, trying to burn us alive. Of course, the guards never called it arsonist. How could they, when it almost certainly was one of their own? Okay, as I hear.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
So admit that you had a sickle with you since you left the mortuary. So I did. Now I used it to trim the grass. That's what it's for. Someone called for help from the backfield. Ran over, surprised to see that body. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I had a...
Okay. Dann kontraktieren wir ihn nochmal. Weil wir haben eine dreckige Schaufel gefunden, das heißt, irgendwer muss. Did you? The dirt on your shovel indicates that you didn't dig the grave. That's true, it's a normal part of my job. I shouldn't have lied about it, I know. I worried that if I told the truth, I thought that you'd think I killed the boy. But I didn't. When you lied to me, you veiled the truth from the eye of Ein Sof. Speak the truth now, there's no room for error in this investigation. Fine, I dug the grave for the funeral, just doing my job. But it was empty when I left it. Okay. Sehr viel mehr spezifiziert. Integrity. Okay. So here. Found in Abraham's sanctum, your values honesty and sincerity, generally always lying to try to escape accusation. Regret lying, I'm an honest person, but I feel like I had to defend myself somehow from being accused. Well, didn't work. Now did it.
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the evening. I'm not usually told who it's for.
So you didn't know what that the grave was for Mother Miriam? No, I didn't ask who it was for. I never do. Doesn't change how deep the hole needs to be.
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave.
Okay. You didn't run into anyone on your way to the grave? No, no one passed by me.
The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
So the grave was dug this afternoon. Yes, I was surprised by the short notice. Usually I'm told the day before. Okay.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful. Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. I took a
Certain that no one was around. Was anybody? It was just me.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave.
So the grave was dug this afternoon. Yes, I was surprised. But okay.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know. When I had the grave was
Didn't run into. Okay. 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 Was kannst du mir dann zu Augustin sagen? I didn't see him while he was alive. Is that who the grave was for? You obsessive, you must have been important to have a plot here. Mister handles all the business in the mortuary and tells me where things stand need doing. Both take pride in our work and don't bother each other much. Suits me just fine. Okay. So.
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass.
Okay. Das heißt, rein prinzipiell haben wir jetzt hier ganz schön viel rausgefunden. Das heißt, der Kollege müsste jetzt auch mal wieder ein bisschen spezifischer werden mit seinen Aussagen, weil vieles scheint davon nicht zu stimmen oder zu unspezifisch zu sein, dass es wirklich wahr ist. Achso, warte mal. Mir ist gerade noch aufgefallen. Genau, dieser Scanner. In einer der Aussagen, glaube bei Nerissa, war der nämlich hier. Nee, Quatsch, bei Abram war das. Ich glaube, Abram hat das gesagt. Genau, der hatte...
So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave. So I picked up the shovel and went
Genau,
down
hier
to
unten
the
sehen wir
rear
es
plot
nämlich
to dig
da.
a new grave. The ground was hard. I took a long break.
Das heißt Augustin.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walburga. What craftsmanship!
Ach so,
And
ja,
so
dieses,
well
den Scanner.
maintained. For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
Können wir mal zu diesem Baum. Ich habe das by any chance. Found a place in the front of his gravestone. What are you doing with it? This has nothing to do with Isaac's death. I shall be the judge of that. Tell me what you were doing. I was using that scanner to recover a lost hymn for Abbot Gregory to use in tonight's mass. The last record of it is etched upon one of these gravestones. Okay, so...
It took me a little while, but I found it. The grave of surges.
Find the grave surges. I ascertain that it's a heretic's resting place. Certain is identified by a unique set of etchings on his gravestone. Genau, wir machen das. Ich trage jetzt auch mal in sein Sanktum einfach vor. Schauen, was er noch zu sagen hat. Disappointment. Mit was ist er denn disappointed? Plus by his apprentice, recent research, a mediocre effort for someone with such potential. Could have been an eminent scholar if only he was more disciplined and rigorous in his thinking. Admit. Sometimes felt he was wasting his gift. His death is even more of a waste, of course.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurgis. It took me a little while, but I found it. The grave of I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode the etchings.
Decode Antonio is buried with the last record. Instructions written in an ancient script that even I can't read. It was obscure even in Serge's time. All my research reconstructed some of the data that was lost or suppressed after Serge's condemnation. Okay.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Okay.
Then...
Correct.
Afterward...
I'm trying to do so, yeah.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
That was planned, yes. I expect to have found a grave and finished recording by this point. Met me in a river with a bouquet and we would attend the funeral.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Isaac.
Okay. Is anyone near the grave? Ja, wir haben aber gerade noch so Schatten wegrennen sehen. So, das heißt...
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
So...
I walked through the mortuary, then headed...
Bam. Weitere Lügen. Junge. And downhill towards benches. Lies, he did walk through the mortuary speaking with Nerissa. Passed by the grave. And saw you coming from the back field. Fine, I did walk through the back field to pass the dead grave I dug. People have always blamed me for things I didn't do, so I didn't think you'd believe me. Sorry. I said I believe you yet, but we'll see. What was in the grave when you passed by it? Nothing. There was no body, no blood, nothing. So, weitere Lüge. Last sign. About 100 years ago, the church decided Sergius, my great uncle, was a heretic, which I suppose he was. But ever since, they've persecuted my family, confiscated everything we owned, noble to labourers overnight. And I'm all that's left for Sergius' line. I took this job to somehow keep working my ancestral lands, one way or another. I was bitter when I started out, but I've discovered the work suits me. Maybe it was all a sus plan after all.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Staying in the main room of the mortuary? No, of course not. I can't see through walls. Okay.
When I passed by the grave, it was still empty, ready for the funeral.
So you didn't see the victim alive or dead in the river on this time, but the grave you dug. Everybody didn't see anybody at all.
I walked through the walls to reach the front field. I suppose that's when the scholar saw me. I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
Okay. Das heißt, wir haben jetzt... Abram ist jetzt ziemlich safe. Vermutlich wird es Narissa sein.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
Das heißt, wir müssen jetzt...
Afterwards, I waited by the grave.
Wir fragen einfach mal zu allem. Very well, honors of final victory against Lucifer in Abbey's chapel, a true holy sight. For 111 years, no demons have been sighted in our world until today. One has not crossed one of these devices before. Must be two of some sort. For what purpose, I can only guess. His face, so as if he was just fell asleep. But how could this be? He had no enemies. Is it possible I was the intended target? Horrifying to consider. But I'd seen it. Looks far too heavy for me to have used. Okay. But in a watcher, unfortunately, I know nothing about this. Perhaps they're Isaac's. It's beautiful. Was it with Isaac? I asked him to fetch me a bouquet. Strange. Yes, as you can see, Mother Miriam's funeral is scheduled here. I've come to pay my respects. The ceremony was rushed by promise to Abbot. I'd do right by her. This was in Mother Miriam's body. I've conducted several anatomical studies when I've never seen an organ mangled this way. But the ancient was unsightly. For closed coffin ceremony. Was this from Isaac's body? It must be mistaken, as it's entirely dried out and discolored. I think I saw him mourning at one point. Okay. Warte mal, wir reden mal mit dem Virgil. Ich glaube aber, ich habe schon einen Verdacht, wer es ist. Habt ihr denn auch einen Verdacht? Okay. So, jetzt ist die Frage.
Once I did what I could without making new incisions.
Können wir? Weil meine Theorie ist, dass sie von ihr hier die Leber essen wollte, gemerkt hat, dass die aber schon zu durch ist und hat dann Isaac hier getroffen und hat ihn dann umgebracht. Lies, Narissa. No one can buy the mortuary while there is flowers on the ground. There's no use hiding it. There's nothing toward. I stopped by for a moment. Okay. Famine Survivor. Ist das der Grund, warum sie so... During the Great Famine, feeding on anything she couldn't find. She eventually found sustenance, but at what cost? Preserved persevered through those days. I'm ever grateful to Ein Sof and the kind souls of the church.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening.
Funeral? I certainly hope so. Why else would he dig a grave?
The truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
Did you notice anything about the victim at this time? No, he seemed like a normal, healthy young man to me. Okay.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
So he didn't take the bouquet with him. No, he decided it was best to return empty-handed rather than bring something unworthy. Okay.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
Es könnte natürlich auch Augustin gewesen sein. Also das Ding ist, den hatte ich verdächtig, weil er Kontakt hat mit dem Abbot und wenn... Meine Theorie ist ja, dass Abbot mit dem Lucifer drin ist und Augustin dann mit ihm dranhängt. Irgendwie ist auch Miriam involviert und die nächste Person. Und das Ding ist, Nerissa könnte sein, dass sie einfach die Chance genutzt hat und einfach diese Leber aus ihm rausgeschnitten hat, weil es gerade ging, als sie die Leiche entdeckt hat. When he last saw him, he was headed towards the grave. That's right, he left the mortuary at the back.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket.
Das Ding ist, irgendwer lügt auch hier schon wieder. Also vermutlich wird Abraham aber wieder gelogen haben, dass Isaac ihm begegnet ist. Okay, das heißt, wenn wir nämlich hier gehen. Here, conflict revealed. Conflict revealed. So how did I saw no one while digging your grave? I certainly did not see Nerissa or the boy come through.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else, and I got back to it and finished digging the grave.
Okay.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral.
Conflict revealed. Don't know about Abraham would lie, but the victim left through the door. I swear I saw myself. So.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral.
Sting.
The truth is...
Okay. Das Problem ist, der Augustin ist halt in vielem gar nicht drin.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier.
When the sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral. Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
Können wir Abram hierzu befragen? The trouble. See myself and I was busy with the headstone. The only time we could have headed towards the grave. Didn't see what I was doing then.
When I passed by the grave, it was...
Okay, da war er noch drin.
When I passed by the grave, it was... I walked through the walls to reach the front field. I suppose that's when the scholar saw me.
My family's all grey. We're not nobility anymore, but the abbey's ground once belonged to my ancestor. It was all confiscated after my great uncle Sergio was a branded heretic. Too bad for the rest of us. Work the land now as a labourer. Life has ups and downs. A good job. Fragen wir einfach zu allem. On a grave. Oh wait.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper. Afterwards, I waited by the grave. I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode.
Das Problem ist, Abram hat uns gerade gesagt, dass das hier das Grab ist. Und das heißt, das hier kann eigentlich doch gar nicht Sergios Grab sein.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task.
Warum können wir ihm das nicht an den Kopf werfen?
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to...
Sure, the day must work. Pity the boy so young. Both is part of why it's will somehow. It's my shower and built it to last. This came out. It's true that I went inside, working inside, but that was before the rain. This makes bouquets from a flower garden nearby, and visitors sometimes use them as offerings at the graves. Don't know anything about it, just the rest last thing. Okay. Say that's a liver. If it is, looks like a dog got it. Yes. Clean up notice must have not finished with this one yet. Oh, but that is important already. The chemical smells are always around the mortuary. It needs.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain. I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things...
Wir müssen dieses Ding hier aufbrechen, weil
Just after dark,
das...
I heard a scream from the back field. A dead body was found.
So.
I did what I could without making new incisions.
Könnten Sie mal... Present. Okay, dann nicht. Dann hier. Scheint nicht. Okay. Motive. Especially a certain rare flash that had sustained you in a time of need. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you day in, day out. So virtuous for so long. Would handle all organs as part of preparing your bodies. You could easily imagine the taste, the texture, yet you resisted. When Isaac arrived and the daemon spoke, you could no longer ignore your hunger. Fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips. It would be so much tastier than the cold and trace you'd handled from corpses. All you had to do is to slip open his stomach like you've done hundreds of times before. Don't tell me how could I've done it. Do you see a weapon around here? Well, I guess you could use the multi-tool. It's designed with a precise incision to the heart and tissue. Would have sliced through your living body with ease. So there's nothing else could have fallen out to kill it to seal the wound on the victim's stomach. Could have done such a thing. Killed Isaac while he was visiting the mortuary to fetch a bouquet. He came by, but he left shortly afterwards. If he died in the mortuary, why was his body found in a grave? It was moved. This was when it happened. Certain the bodies put to the grave, hoping you bury it before anyone arrived. Jeez.
Ain Suf sees all, Nerissa.
Oh, that's what that is.
You are the only person who could have killed Isaac. Do you deny it?
Curse you, and curse Ain Suf. How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering? Where was Ain Suf when my family was dying in the street? Chewing on leather just to live another day.
The famine was a test, Nerissa. Ain Suf wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you haven't eaten for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Nerissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you. Confess, Nerissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
Okay, cool. So after around 2 o'clock, I informed Abraham of the funeral.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. And I brought him to the bouquet table. I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly. I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly. Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were returning, and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline. In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later. I wanted to savor its deep, rich flavors.
Om nom nom.
Sooner than I anticipated, I heard a scream from the back field. Someone had already discovered the body.
So, und wir wissen auch schon, welcher Dämon das war.
wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence. I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out and be banished to the ether. Ein Sof, guide me. What daemon has possessed Nerissa?
Genau, Lothar ist es nämlich nicht. Aber hier. Genau. Es ist Beelzebub. The Gluttonous.
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
No! We must feed! Nerissa, delicious, scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
Hunger is a primal need. Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter. We feed on you, the meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the ether and never come back.
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast.
Oh.
Ada, you juicy little morsel, we shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
Und weg mit dem.
Do you hear me, Nerissa?
Fast perfektes Timing dafür, dass das Internet zusammenbricht. Jetzt, wo wir den zweiten Fall fast abgeschlossen haben. Leider nur fast. Das finde ich ein bisschen schade. Ich hätte ja gehofft, dass das jetzt irgendwie... ja. Wait, what? Ich muss mal kurz was nachschauen. Ah, okay. Ich habe gerade gedeckt, dass irgendein Key revoked wurde, deswegen war ich kurz irritiert. So. Oh. Upload wieder klar? Okay, gut. Das heißt, er kriegt alles wieder mit. Alles kein Problem mehr.
Was I too late?
Does nothing remain of your soul?
Goodbye, Nerissa. May Ein Sof make you whole again.
So this is the power of an exorcist. I've dreamed of seeing this. It looks a bit different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
Nichts Gutes?
Ada, look out!
Huh?
Halt, Nerissa. Good. I've stunned her.
Ah, okay. Ich habe mich gerade gewundert, wer gerade auf die Fresse bekommen hat.
Are you all right, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time. My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Sof, save us. Another possession. Another killing. How is this possible? Who is responsible?
You are responsible, you stupid ass.
Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Bitte was?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada.
Ja?
She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame. The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
Maybe.
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed, you are risking all their lives.
No, Father. You must stay the course. We've worked too hard for this moment. I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned. This chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetimes.
Wurde der Dings nicht irgendwie aus einem guten Grund als Heretic beschrieben?
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Sof.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar. You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted.
Yes. Especially you shifty-ass character.
How do we know this supposed exorcist is not the pawn of Lucifer?
Weil ich 2 Exorzismen veranstaltet habe.
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons? She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
Mhm. Ich will bitte ein F für Fishy kaufen und lösen.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. How would we know?
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Sof. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
Mir fällt gerade auf, dass die manchmal Ein Sof, manchmal Ein Sof sagen. Es kommt mir Spanisch vor, dass die das nicht wissen, wie es richtig ausgesprochen wird.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case.
Warte, lass mich mal kurz was testen. Okay. Ich habe gerade hier nämlich gesehen, dass hier noch dran stand mit dem Aquanox findet Nemo als Streamtitel und ich war gerade super irritiert, ob es denn immer noch so ist. Das war schon. Ja, nur Lady Böb. Ist ja nur der, glaub, oberste Anführer dieser Religion und irgendwie so ein Typ, wie der ihm zuflüstert, wie nicht Wurmschwanz. Sondern. Oder doch Wurmschwanz? Ist das der aus Herr der Ringe? Der Typ, der dem anderen einen König Theoden ins Ohr geflüstert hat.
I don't want you at the Mass. If you truly believe Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him. Search the grounds as you like, but stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell. Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn.
Ja, das war nämlich auch das Ding. Ich dachte, Wurmschwanz war Harry Potter. Deswegen habe ich gemeint, dass das nicht ist. Aber wie hieß da nochmal der Typ, der dem König Theoden ins Ohr geflüstert hat? War doch auch so ein shifty
Especially after the events of today. Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories. Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare.
Wollen wir wetten, wenn sie ein Typ wäre, hätten sie ihm geglaubt.
Very wise, Father. As always. Farewell, Sister.
Er ist so shifty, ey. Super hart shifty.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
But I'm filled with dread.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass. Stay vigilant.
So, genau, ihr habt es vielleicht gerade im Chat gesehen. Ausrufezeichen Fight wieder im Chat und ihr könnt wieder an der Arena teilnehmen. Ja, aber Dings, Lady, wie gesagt, Lady, wie hieß jetzt nochmal der Typ hier mit König Theoden? Oder weiß es irgendwer anders im Chat? Weil das wird mich sonst in den Wahnsinn treiben. Poisoned by Father Augustine against me, Abbot Gregory ordered I remain outside the chapel for his mass. At midnight, the gathered pilgrims lifted a voice in praise to Ein Sof, but they were cut short by a thunderous crash. Another soul taken. Schlangenzunge, das war's. Mille grazie. Ah. Okay, ein weiterer Fall, der auf uns wartet. Ich weiß nicht, wie viele Fälle wir haben, muss ich sagen.
Where's Abbot Gregory? What interrupted his mass?
Na, wetten, der liegt darunter.
The abbot. His death was the interruption. A third murder, I'm afraid.
Dum dum dum. Genau.
The lights went out during Mass. Moments later, the statue of Saint Walpurga crashed down from the ceiling, impaling Abbot Gregory with its spear.
War anscheinend mit der Unterseite.
An assassination then. But why? We must determine who is possessed immediately. Examining the facts will reveal Ein Sof's truth. How was the statue held in place?
Due to its weight, we had to rely on using aether-powered restraints to hang it above the altar. Which means the killer must have sabotaged the 2 power generators on the balcony floor. There were only 2 people on the balcony during the Mass. I've detained them for interrogation. I've sent the pilgrims back to town, lest they panic and disturb the evidence.
Excellent work, Virgil. Who are the suspects? You said there were 2.
Bestimmt ist Augustin dabei, oder?
You already know them. Brother Gideon and Father Augustine.
Since you are a key witness to the events, I will of course hear your testimony as well. May Ein Sof show us the truth behind all of today's events.
Ich finde das Spiel super spannend. Super gut. Was schade ist, dass es nur einmal durchspielbar sein wird und danach nicht mehr. Das finde ich super schade. Weil wenn wir das einmal durchgespielt, also ne, wenn das einmal durchgespielt ist, dann ist halt, ja, wir wissen die Geschichte, wir wissen die Fälle. Wir können noch versuchen zu speedrunnen, aber das ist halt irgendwie nicht mehr witzig. Für mich jedenfalls. Genau, und deswegen ist es super schade. Und das ist jetzt auch einer der Gründe, unter anderem, weil jetzt auch 24 Uhr ist, ne? 24 Uhr ist jetzt durch, dass wir hier diesen Stream beenden. Ich weiß nämlich, dass das Spiel relativ kurz ist, ne? Es ist sehr, sehr schade, aber es ist halt echt nicht so ein langes Spiel. Ich kann mal kurz schauen, wie viel es kostet. Genau, es sind gerade 14,39, 10% halt Launch Sale Rabatt. 15,99 kostet es eigentlich. Und mir wurde so gesagt, dass es so irgendwie 4 Stunden sein werden, die das so dauert. Genau. Und ich glaube, es werden so 4 Fälle sein, weil es gibt 4 Dämonen, wenn ich das richtig gesehen habe. Und, genau. Das Ding ist, also klar, also das ist, die Frage ist, würde ich es empfehlen? Und ich sag, ja. Es ist super cool, es ist vor allem super anderes Gameplay. Es ist super cool erzählt, die Welt finde ich super toll. Genau, auch der Grafikstil, gerade die Zeichnungen von den Charakteren, richtig, richtig super gemacht. Hier die Timelines, die man hier hat. Es ist geil. Ich fänd's super, dass wir, also wirklich, wenn sie dafür dann nochmal irgendwie neue Fälle rausbringen würden, fände ich super. Das wäre wirklich, ja, das wäre sehr, sehr toll. Und es war so klar, dass Abbot Gregory hier stirbt, der Lappen. Ja. Ja, das Schöne ist, hier steht dran, the elderly patriarch of the abbey tonight was supposed to be his final mass before retirement. Well, it was his final mass before retirement. Ne, ist die letzte gewesen, also von daher würde ich sagen, alles nach Plan verlaufen, nur nicht ganz so nach Plan, wie man den Plan irgendwie so geplant hatte, ne? Ja, Gratulation übrigens, Dorado, zu 4 neuen Bohnen. Ah ja. Ich würde auch gerne hören, was ihr dazu sagt. Also Lady, ich weiß jetzt nicht, wie viel du mitbekommen hast. Dorado war, glaube ich, eine ganze Weile hier. Genau, Igelchen eigentlich auch. Das heißt, solltet eigentlich irgendwie grob hier mitbekommen haben, was hier passiert ist. Jetzt ist die Frage, wie findet ihr es denn so? Ich hatte daran auf jeden Fall echt viel Spaß. Genau, wir können. Ich schaue jetzt mal kurz noch hier die Gegend an, weil ich will mal wissen, wie viel das jetzt hier ist. Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt hier einfach nochmal die Gegend mit hier irgendwie Glocke, da ist irgendwas kaputt. Das ist ein Generator. Schluck auf ein bisschen. Aber die andere Seite. Also, genau, also ich erwarte, dass hier eigentlich noch 2 Fälle auf uns warten. Also dieser hier und dann noch einer. Weil es hat ja... Genau, Sathanas the Vengeful. Das heißt, es wird jetzt hier vermutlich der Fall sein mit Sathanas. Und anschließend kommt dann als allerletztes der Fall mit Lucifer, the Proud. So. Das weiß ich halt gerade gar nicht, ob denn die andere, also wie lange ich für die anderen Fälle gebraucht habe. Also der erste Fall, den habe ich ja sehr gerusht. Aber der zweite Fall, das würde mich schon interessieren, wie lange ich für den gebraucht habe. Das muss ich aber später nochmal nachschauen. Genau. So. Aber in jedem Fall werden wir jetzt dann, wie gesagt, mal mit unserem Stream hier aufhören, leider. Ich werde jetzt noch wen suchen, den wir raiden können.